on my way back to New York City. Back in New York City. So here I am at Chase Manhattan Bank, about to attend the 8th annual Business of We Summit, hosted by our fabulous Paulina Lopez, where we're going to hear from some amazing speakers. So stay tuned for the 8th annual Business of We Summit, coming to you live from Chase Manhattan Bank in New York City.
Some incredible love to the team here at Chase. Thank you so much for seeing my vision, for trusting me to bring my community of women, small business owners and entrepreneurs into this space. Thank you. Last year, we celebrated the 7th annual Entrepreneur Summit in Queens at the TWA Hotel. Many of you were in the room. And it was such a privilege to have Chase be a part of that event. Since then, I've been able to forge relationships, friendships with some incredible members of this Chase team. Hence, here we are today. So thank you again. I appreciate all of you being here, your presence, your contribution, your connections.
Congratulations to Paulina for hosting the 8th annual summit. My name is Sheng Ong. I'm the CEO and founder of Body Balance Lifestyle. Initially started 2020 to help all the busy women out there to feel strong, sexy, fabulous in less than 45 minutes a day. I just expanded my business to help all corporate workers out there to sneak in less than 10 minute movements so that you can feel productive during your lunch break. So after your lunch break, you do some movement, take your lunch, and then you feel more productive so that you can get things done by the end of the day, and you can enjoy your time with your family or whatever you want to do after that. So without further ado, I'm going to get started. So we'll start with our sitting. So I just want you to show a quick, since the 8th annual summit, 8 minutes quick stretch right there. Your neck, your shoulders, everything is.
And we are going to talk about what it means to be an influential voice and how to communicate effectively for impact. It does not mean you have to do a TED Talk. It does not mean that you have to adopt the persona of being a public speaker. What it means is that you learn how to effectively communicate in order to have impact. You all have businesses. One of your revenue generating streams is to be able to speak effectively about what it is you do, what it is you sell, and who you serve, which is why being an effective communicator and adopting and owning that you are all influential voices.
Right? That is the power of branding. So if you have a product or service, it is really extremely important that you brand yourself and begin to communicate it to the masses, all right? And so I'm gonna give y'all 3 steps that y'all can begin to incorporate in your business starting today. So have your papers out, have your pencils out. Who's ready to go on this ride with me, this branding ride? Okay, everybody's ready? Y'all get, come on, it's Monday. I need y'all to give me y'all energy. I told y'all I'm a Gemini. I'm an Earth, I'm the air sign. You gotta bring me back down. Okay. How many of us thought branding was marketing and advertising? It's okay. It's not. Can someone tell me what marketing is? This is interactive. I'm calling people. You. Tell me your name. Sergio, tell me what is marketing?
That they ask for. Just shout it out. What type of business? Yeah. Business certificate. Anything else?
Balance plan, balance sheet,
Balance sheet, P&L, tax return, all of that stuff. So they want to actually see proof that you're not only just in business, but you're actually doing well in your business. So all of that documentation will show them, okay, this is a viable bet. Now, when I'm talking about cash flow today, it's not about someone else's money, but it's going to be about maximizing your money. Because guess what? When you go to a lender, are you going to be paying them a fee for getting access to their money? Yes.
and you have to pay it back. And there might be some other fees that are also worked into that as well. Even if you went to get investment capital, right? They're going to want to get something back for that. Now, how great would it be that you manage your cash flow so well that you can lend to yourself? Who wants to be able to do that, right? Now, are you going to charge yourself interest? No hands? No takers?
Yes.
Of course not, right? You're really not necessarily going to charge yourself interest, but it's the money that you've built and put together. So the first thing that I want to talk about is cash flow is more than fuel, more than the money in the bank, right? It's actually the fuel that makes the business run. Now, there's a lot of different pieces of the puzzle that speak to access to navigating cash flow. Now, before I jump into all of that, I'd love for you to answer this question. How confident are you?
Day comes that you are ready to launch, you have content, information, testimonials, stories, and proof of exactly who you are. So that when the time comes that you want to go meet with your representative Chase, you're no longer walking in with an idea. You now are walking in with a business plan, right? And it's something that you've already taken time to establish. We also go through with social media, making sure if you plan on using social media under your own person, be clear and concise in what your messaging is. Let me just say this. Now's that time to go through your social media and delete anything you would not be proud of. Okay? True story. Again, not going to share the name, especially she's not here, but it's okay. There's an attorney that I work with who is single. She is in fantastic shape. She is under 30, and she loves to tell everybody about that on social media. But if I go to look her up, what does that tell me about her brand? What does that tell me about who she is as a person? We never want to judge. I'm glad that she's out there living her best life yet, but I don't need to be reading about it, right? Especially not in that context. So take the time as you're building your brand to go through your social media, and you might want to make some adjustments to maybe what you're putting out there. And sometimes it's about past experiences or even other companies that you may have been working for in the past. You don't want to be sharing that messaging. When we are building our business credit, so again, we want to start with that foundation of building our credibility. Now we want to jump in to figuring out who we are and how do we get seen. So once you go ahead and you have established your EIN number, you want to go to the three major, and these are the three major bureaus that we recommend on the credit side, not the consumer side. And this came up again this morning with Chase.
We have an incredible free small business program that a lot of people don't know about, but by a show of hands, I wanted to know how many of you have either heard about or are actively enrolled or have access to Verizon Small Business Digital Ready before? Yay! A lot of people actually. That's really interesting, and thank you. So my name is Serena Kintu. I lead partnerships for the Verizon Digital Ready program. What that means is that I'm looking across the platform to see what type of partnerships we need to establish on behalf of our small businesses. We basically have 200,000 small businesses that we're supporting at the moment. And before that, I helped to build some strategy at Meta, and then also worked at Google and AOL, and was an entrepreneur myself. I ran a business for 6 years between like 2016 onwards, and eventually had to close that business because it was really, really challenging. And what I wanted to do with my entrepreneurship experience was to go and work at places that support entrepreneurs. So I started out working at a venture capital, and then I went to Meta, and then I'm at Verizon at the moment. So I know a little thing one or two things about entrepreneurship and just the journey. And I'm very encouraged to see that there's a lot of resources these days for entrepreneurs, because when I was running my business, I felt like there wasn't that much support at the time. So I'm gonna tell you about our free small business program. Let me see if I can get through. Oops, okay, cool. Yeah, so we go by Verizon Small Business Digital Ready, and I'll give you a quick overview. So this is in around the George Floyd movement time. Verizon committed to providing 1 million small businesses with resources to help them in the digital economy. We were speaking about this earlier. What that means is that, Verizon is an amazing company that has resources, bringing people online, connecting people. And we know that a lot of small business owners are left behind because they are working all the time and they are just trying to survive. And what we're saying is, we know that everything is progressively moving online, and if we're not able to bring people online along with us, their businesses are not going to survive. So that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to provide 1 million small businesses with free resources. I need to add free, but this is a corporate statement. So it's free resources to help them thrive in the digital economy.
Smaller increments. So AI and the future of business. One of the things that we're working on, I'm actually part of a working group with the UN, the environmental program, and we're really working right now on what we call foresight strategies. And at a time in business in general, it's like, what's the 5-year plan, the 10-year plan? Right now in the world, we don't have a lot of long-term planning, right? What we do have to do is begin embedding adaptability, which is why the subject of my talk today is about adaptive leadership, right? We have to build adaptability, our adaptability, into our operations, into the way we function. This is really what we have to be doing. And what we know with the UN programs, and what we have discovered with the people from around the world that I'm working with, is that we know that the traditional ways of operating are going to have to shift. And we have a lot of reactions to that, right?